Tip number 1. The eyes have it. The eyes, they say, are the windows to the soul, and they're also a handy tool for reading people. You see, the direction where someone's eyes dart when they're talking can tell you a lot about what's going on in their mind. For instance, if they look up to the right, they're likely accessing their imagination, perhaps creating a story or an answer. Conversely, if they look up to the left, they're probably recalling a memory, delving into their past experiences for information. This little trick can help you figure out if someone is being truthful or if they're spinning a tall tale. But remember, it's not foolproof and everyone is different. And if they roll their eyes at you, well, you're probably talking nonsense. So, keep your eyes on their eyes and you'll be one step closer to becoming a human lie detector. Tip number 2. Body language bingo. Now, this isn't about guessing random numbers, but rather about decoding the silent language of the body. Body language is like a telltale sign that often reveals more about a person's true feelings than their words ever could. It's all about the nuances. For instance, if someone is leaning towards you during a conversation, it's a clear sign of engagement and interest. On the flip side, if they're inching away, it could be a subtle cue that they're not entirely comfortable. Ever wondered what crossed arms mean? Well, it's a common misconception that it's always a defensive posture. While that can be true, sometimes it's just because the person is feeling chilly. Or perhaps they're secretly plotting to overthrow you in a game of chess. Who knows? Body language is a fascinating field, filled with many such intriguing possibilities. And if they cross their arms, it could mean they're cold or that they're secretly plotting to overthrow you. Who knows? Tip number 3. The object test. It's time to turn our attention to the things around us. The way a person interacts with objects can be quite revealing. You see, our physical actions often mirror our emotional state. So, if someone is incessantly tapping their pen, they might just be drumming out the beat of nervousness. Or if they're constantly checking their watch, impatience could be their companion. Even the way they handle a cup of coffee can speak volumes. Are they gripping it tightly? Perhaps they're feeling tense. Or are they cradling it gently? They might be in a relaxed, comfortable state. But remember, not every action has a secret meaning. Sometimes a pen is just a pen. However, if they start twirling their mustache like a cartoon villain, well, you might want to reconsider that business deal. Tip number 4. Listen up. Now this is where it gets intriguing. The words one chooses to use, their tone, and the way they articulate can reveal more than you think. A person's vocabulary, for instance, can give you a glimpse into their education, background, or even their current emotional state. A change in tone, that could indicate a shift in comfort or discomfort regarding the topic at hand. But let's not stop there, folks. Pay close attention to what they're not saying. Are they being unusually vague, skirting around certain subjects? These could be red flags that they're trying to hide something or avoid a particular topic. Remember, communication is not just about the words that are spoken. It's also about the silent gaps, the unspoken words, and the way those words are delivered. So tune in your ears, my friends. It's like playing a game of verbal chess, my friends. Tip number 5. The mirror effect. This is a fascinating phenomenon where we subtly mirror the body language of those we're interacting with, building a rapport and better understanding their feelings. It's like a silent dance, where each move is an unspoken conversation. If they cross their legs, you cross yours. If they tilt their head, you do the same. It's a way of saying, I see you, I understand you, and I'm on your wavelength. But be careful not to turn this into a game of Simon Says. The key is subtlety. If they scratch their nose, don't immediately reach for yours. If they suddenly start doing the Macarena, maybe don't join in right away. Mirroring should feel natural, not forced. It's about connecting on a deeper level, not just copying someone's every move. After all, we're trying to understand people, not mimic them. Just don't go overboard and turn into a human parrot. Tip number 6. Context clues. The context of a situation can be a goldmine for understanding someone's behavior. Is the person you're observing in a familiar place, or are they in a new, potentially stressful environment? How they react can tell you a lot about their comfort levels and emotional state. Are they relaxed at a noisy party, or do they seem on edge? Keep in mind the weather too. Are they shivering in the cold, or are they uncomfortably hot? These factors can greatly influence a person's behavior. And let's not forget about the social situation. Are they surrounded by friends or strangers? Their interactions can reveal their social skills and confidence levels. Lastly, look for changes in their behavior. If they're usually chatty but have suddenly gone quiet, something might be up. So remember, detectives, always consider the context. Maybe they're hiding something, or they just really need some deodorant. Tip number 7, the power of observation. If you think of yourself as a detective, then observation is your magnifying glass. It's all about noticing the little things, the small details that can often reveal so much about a person. Is their tie always perfectly straight? Perhaps they're meticulous and detail-oriented. Is their hair a little messy? Maybe they're relaxed and creative. It's not just about their physical appearance either. Watch their behavior closely. Do they tap their foot when they're nervous? Or do they tend to look away when they're not being entirely honest? It's these tiny, seemingly insignificant details that can provide the most insight into a person's true character. So the next time you're trying to read someone, remember to pay attention to the small things. You never know what hidden messages they might be sending with that neon green tie. Tip number 8, trust your gut. This might sound a bit abstract compared to the previous tips, but it's just as crucial. Our intuition, that gut feeling we all get from time to time, is essentially the brain picking up on patterns and details that our conscious mind might not have noticed. It's like having a secret agent inside your head, sifting through information and alerting you when something seems off. So, when you're trying to read someone and something just doesn't feel right, trust that feeling. It's your intuition, your internal detective, hard at work. But remember, this is not about jumping to conclusions or making hasty judgments. It's about tuning into your instincts and using them as a tool to help guide your understanding. So lean into that feeling, ask questions, observe more, and don't ignore your gut. Unless you're hungry, that could just be your stomach growling. Tip number 9, the truth serum. Now, this one's a fun one. It's all about catching people off guard with unexpected questions. The element of surprise can be a powerful tool in cracking the code of human behavior. When we're caught off guard, our defenses tend to drop, and we are more likely to reveal our true feelings and thoughts. It's like shaking a soda can and watching it fizz over. The unanticipated question acts as the shaking, and the fizz, well, that's the truth popping out. Now, don't go asking super personal or inappropriate questions. The goal isn't to make someone uncomfortable, but to create a moment of genuine reaction. For instance, you could suddenly ask, "What's your favorite color of underwear?" Okay, maybe not that unexpected, but you get the idea. And finally, tip number 10, the grand finale. This is where we bring together all the clues we've gathered. Like a master detective, we piece together the puzzle using each of the previous 9 tips. The darting eyes, the telltale body language, the nervous fidgeting with objects, the carefully chosen words, the subtle reflections of our own movements. We consider the context of the situation, observe the minutiae of their appearance, trust our gut feelings, and throw in an unexpected question or two. And just like that, we're reading people like an open book. You've got all the tools you need to become a super sleuth in the realm of human behavior. Remember, practice makes perfect. So go forth, my fellow detectives, and may the clues be ever in your favor.